Coconut oil is often marketed as healthy, but what does it actually do to your cholesterol? In this video, I'll show you why coconut oil may not be the health food many people think it is, what the research says about its effects on LDL, and what that means for eating local foods like nasi lemak, laksa, and kaya. Coconut oil is often marketed as an MCT-rich health food, but its fat profile actually tells a different story. When you eat any fat, it is broken down in your small intestines and absorbed through one of two routes. In the first route, fatty acids are absorbed directly through the gut wall into the portal vein, which carries them straight to the liver to be quickly used for energy. In the second route, fatty acids are packaged into particles called chylomicrons, which enter the lymphatic system and circulate through the bloodstream before returning to the liver. These two routes are what differentiates medium-chain fatty acids, which are commonly called MCTs, and long-chain fatty acids. Medium-chain fatty acids, specifically caprylic acid with 8 carbons and capric acid with 10 carbons, are absorbed almost entirely through the portal vein. And this is why true MCT oils have a more neutral effect on heart disease risk. On the other hand, long-chain fatty acids, including lauric acid, myristic acid, and palmitic acid, with 12, 14, and 16 carbons, primarily take the chylomicron route. These long-chain fatty acids then affect the liver in various ways that ultimately results in higher circulating LDL cholesterol levels. If you're interested in exactly how this happens, I've made another video on this and I'll drop a link for that in the description below. There's so much confusion about the health effects of coconut oil because coconut oil is frequently marketed as a food high in MCTs. However, a closer look at the fatty acid profile tells a more complicated story. The true MCTs, that is caprylic acid and capric acid, make up only about 13.5% of coconut oil's total fatty acids. This is very different from commercially available MCT oils that are specially concentrated to contain almost 100% of these two MCTs. In fact, the dominant fatty acid in coconut oil is 46.2% of lauric acid. Even though lauric acid is sometimes classified as an MCT by its chain length, up to 75% of lauric acid is actually absorbed and transported via chylomicrons, behaving more like long-chain fatty acids. Therefore, since only 1/4 of the fatty acids in coconut oil are behaving like true MCTs, the research on pure MCTs should not be directly applied to coconut oil. Given this saturated fatty acid profile of coconut oil, what does it mean for your cholesterol and heart disease risk? And how should you think about local foods like nasi lemak and laksa? Before I go into that, if you're enjoying this video so far, help me hit the like, share and subscribe buttons and turn on the notifications. You could also check out this other video comparing whether eggs or butter has a bigger effect on cholesterol. If coconut oil is really healthy, how does it affect LDL cholesterol in clinical trials? Just to recap, coconut oil contains 13.5% of the true medium-chain fatty acids, caprylic acid and capric acid, and 46.2% of lauric acid. It also contains 18.4% of myristic acid, 9.5% of palmitic acid, and 2.8% of stearic acid. This WHO review showed that when 1% of daily caloric intake from carbohydrates was replaced by individual saturated fatty acids, LDL increased by 0.7 mg per deciliter for lauric acid, by 1.7 for myristic acid, and by 1.4 for palmitic acid, while for stearic acid, no significant association was found. The LDL-raising fatty acids of lauric, myristic, and palmitic acids therefore account for about 74.1% of the total fats in coconut oil. This profile translates into clinically significant results that are supported by various studies. This 2020 meta-analysis from the National University of Singapore showed that compared to non-tropical vegetable oils such as canola oil and soybean oil, coconut oil increased LDL cholesterol by 10.47 mg per deciliter. This other meta-analysis confirmed these findings and showed that compared to soybean oil, coconut oil increased LDL by 11.5 mg per deciliter. When LDL is reduced by 40 mg per deciliter, the risk of suffering from a heart attack or stroke can be reduced by over 20%. So these LDL-raising effects of coconut oil are significant. But the research does contain some surprising results. Even though coconut oil contains a higher amount of LDL-raising lauric, myristic, and palmitic acids at 74.2%, compared to only 42.1% in butter, studies show that coconut oil raises LDL cholesterol less than butter. For example, this randomized controlled trial showed that after 4 weeks of consuming 50 grams of butter versus coconut oil, butter raised LDL cholesterol by 16.4 milligrams per deciliter, more than coconut oil. That said, studies with direct comparisons between butter and coconut oil are limited, so this finding should be interpreted with some caution. With these study results in mind, how should you actually approach coconut-based foods in your daily routine? Before I share a few practical tips, it would be amazing if you could help me by sharing this video with someone who is confused about whether coconut oil is healthy. So, if you love the taste of coconut but have high cholesterol, how should you handle coconut-based foods in your daily routine? Here are 5 practical tips. Number 1, for everyday cooking, use canola oil or soybean oil. In nutrition, compared to what is always a key question to ask. If you currently cook mainly with butter, then switching to coconut oil would likely reduce your LDL based on the available data. But if you're already cooking regularly with heart-healthy canola oil or soybean oil, then switching to coconut oil would move your LDL in the wrong direction. Number 2, save coconut milk and coconut oil for dishes where the flavor is important. For example, in nasi lemak, laksa, and kaya. To put things into perspective, one serving of nasi lemak contains around 4 grams of saturated fat. A bowl of laksa soup can contain up to 21 grams, while 1 tablespoon of kaya has only 1.5 grams. Based on a 2000 calorie diet, you should eat less than 22 grams of saturated fat per day to keep saturated fat intake below recommended levels of 10%. As such, if you're already following a heart-healthy diet such as the portfolio diet most of the time, then having any one of these dishes occasionally is not a big issue. I would just recommend not finishing all of the laksa soup when you have it. Number 3, watch out for coconut chips and other processed snacks made from the flesh of coconuts. A small amount of traditional grated coconut, the kind that you buy from wet markets and sprinkle over kuehs like onde onde, is fine in moderation since the portions are typically small. But there is now a growing range of packaged products selling toasted coconut flesh as a natural or healthier alternative to other snacks. However, coconut flesh is approximately 33% fat by weight, and a small 30-gram serving could contain 10 to 15 grams, or half of the saturated fat that you could eat in a day. Before I share a couple more tips, cholesterol lowering and healthy aging food strategies like these are what I help my clients with in my private practice. If you've been struggling with high cholesterol and would like more personalized help to improve your heart health, click on the link in the description to book a free strategy session. Number 4, coconut on a label is not the same as healthy. The wellness industry has given coconut a health halo, and products like coconut yogurt and baked goods using coconut flour are becoming more popular and perceived as cleaner alternatives. But 100 grams of coconut yogurt, often positioned as a healthier dairy-free option, can again contain 8 to 12 grams of saturated fat, significantly more than full-fat dairy yogurt. Similarly, 100 grams of coconut flour contains 14 grams of saturated fat, and when used as the primary flour in baked goods, could significantly increase your cholesterol levels. And number 5, now for some good news if you like coconut water. Coconut water contains very little fat, and if you exercised and lost a good amount of sweat, coconut water is a good source of minerals such as potassium and can be enjoyed in moderation to help replenish some electrolytes. However, do note that 1 cup or 240 ml of coconut water can contain around 10 grams or 2.5 teaspoons of natural sugars. So drinking too much of it can add a significant amount of sugar to your diet. And because many packaged coconut waters are at least 330 to 500 ml, do be mindful of the volume you are drinking to account for the added sugars. Did this video change how you think about coconut oil? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, check out these other videos for more practical food strategies to lower your cholesterol and reduce your risk of heart disease. See you in the next one.